All right, welcome back to the next edition of Tribe Pride. I'm here with head coach Roone Gable. This time we're outside.
Outside in our beautiful new facilities.
Absolutely. You can get a shot of what we got behind us here, the new turf, with some cool technology that you've told me about. The beads on the top supposed to be.
We went with something that's new. It is got the rubber layers, but on top it's a green bead that's supposed to prevent about 15 to 20 degrees cooler than normal traditional artificial turfs that go with straight black rubber. Yeah. So honestly, I think I feel it. I on my feet every day, I feel like it is at 15 degrees cooler. And our kids say they feel the difference as well.
Yeah, because I'm going to be honest with you, I've been on some fields where you can just feel your feet burning.
Yes,
you know, it's
absolutely.
So hot. So
absolutely.
That's cool technology. And then to go along with the new stadium, obviously a new track that will feature, a new stadium seats. The entire bleacher setup is brand new. We'll show you some images of that in a little bit. Also new uprights.
Yes.
They look beautiful. Got the little streamer for the wind.
I tell you what, we also got some new yard markers in today that
Sweet.
Nobody's seen but me. And they're red, and on each side of them they have our logo. And it just, man, just little stuff our administration is making sure that we're going top notch. So it's good stuff.
Awesome. A little bit later on, we'll do a deep dive in all the different new things we got here at the Buddy Wendell Field, Little Bighorn Stadium. All right, Coach, let's go back to last week. Played a scrimmage game at Ridgeland. Got, if not everybody in the game, a lot of people in the game. Got a lot of reps. Just kind of give me a synopsis of how you think it went, how you played offensively, defensively, and go from there.
Well, honestly, a lot of people are going to see the final score and say it didn't go well at all. And ultimately, I guess they're right. It did in the fourth quarter against our JV. The score got really lopsided. But at the end of the varsity, we did come on the short end, 27-14, I think. But Ben, we felt like we had a lot of positives.
Yeah.
Our most of our errors were, self-inflicted, unforced errors. We say a bad snap over our head, not getting lined up properly, a penalty. Yeah. So, midway through the second quarter, we're up 14-10 driving. And honestly, I think we got tired a little bit, and that's when the mistakes started happening. We've got to learn from those mistakes, get them fixed, and learn how to handle a little bit of adversity better.
Yeah, I noticed going through and watching the retape of it, you made a couple of those mistakes and backed up, but you didn't just, 3 and out and punch. You had, 8-yard gain, 12-yard gain. So, I mean, those positive gains, I think in the long run, it's going to come back to help you. And I noticed also you had more than 10 pass completions. And, lately you don't see a lot of that.
We want to be balanced. Yeah. We obviously we're going to be built on the run, and we've got to give the ball to Zayden Cook. I think Zayden first half the other night, or maybe his first half and one drive of the third, 13 carries, 170 yards, I think, right at it, 2 touchdowns. So that right there says enough. My dad, the only comment he had after the game was, how come you didn't give the ball more? So I said, yes, sir, you're right. And Zayden is going to lead it. I tell you what I was proud of too, and we've got to build on it, but our offensive line. Mm-hmm. Our offensive line did some really good stuff. We're not deep. Those guys are playing O-line, turn around playing D-line. And we've got to fight through a little mental toughness, fight through a little tiredness, pain a little bit, because we're just not very deep, unfortunately. But they did some good things. And like you said, our quarterbacks threw the ball well enough. Dan Meyer played well on the outside.
Exactly, yeah. Every time he caught the ball, he was going positive.
I'll tell you what, Dan was close to 2 breaking. And he will break from it. He will. So he ended up with 7 or 8 catches for about 80 yards. And, we did a lot of good things. We've got to fix some stuff defensively. It's hard to simulate. live tackling in
Yeah.
practice, and
Because
we did
you don't
not
want to
tackle
go in
it.
there and kill each other.
No,
Yeah,
no, we're not deep enough to. We're not deep enough. So that was our first full live practice. I look for us to improve from this week to next week on our tackling. Our defense played hard. We just got to clean up some mental errors.
Gotcha. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Tribe Talk is brought to you by Alpha Insurance, Al Smith Agency. For all your home, auto, and life insurance needs, call Al Smith at 706-529-6786.
Number 52, Bubba Bass, and number 57, Corey Shaver. For the Panthers, number 2, Wyatt Evans, number 8, Seth Broderick, number 63, Hayden Kerr, and number 88, Parker Metcalf.
All right, welcome back into Tribe Pride here with Chattooga High School head coach Roone Gable. Roone, we're here. It is game week. Friday, you're at Lafayette. Got the Ramblers. Coach Andy Scott and the Ramblers. He does a great job up there.
Yes.
In Lafayette, and they got plenty of talent. So you headed up there for a nice challenge week one.
You know, they got a lot of returning guys. They're big. They're a big team. Got a really good running back. I'm sure most of our fans remember him from last year. He got the best of us last year. Finley's a very good running back. We've got a tackle well. Got a good quarterback in Pendergrass. He's a hard-nosed kid on both sides of the ball. We have to identify and know where he is at all times. So hey, we've got our work cut out for it. But I tell you, we've had a good week of practice. Our kids have responded well. We showed them a lot of clips. That if we clean up ourselves, we can be in any ball game. So that's our focus this week. Yes, we're playing Lafayette, but we had to fix ourselves in a lot of areas, and that's where we've been working hard.
Well, that's, the whole point of the fall scrimmage is to, see what you need to work
Yes.
on and work on it. And you've been doing that ever since, the spring, obviously. But and you can see the progress. I can see the progress. I was out here with you in the spring, plenty of progress,
Yes.
and I know there'll be more to come. But so we're headed up. It's a 7:30 kick.
Yes, sir.
Correct. And I'm pretty sure you can buy the tickets on GoFan or at the
Yes.
gate at Lafayette.
Yes, correct. And I encourage everybody to come out and make that short drive up to Lafayette. They're going to be excited too. They're opening up their new stadium. They also got new turf, got a new track. They're naming the stadium after Coach Jeff Suttle. Had the opportunity to coach with him for a few years at Lafayette. You won't meet a finer man. And so they're going to be excited. We're going to be excited. So I'm looking for a good match.
The two questions I have for Lafayette is do they drive the car on the turf? And they better slow him down because he's going to
I tell you
spin the
what,
wheels.
I know Clint Harrison has drove the Rambler car for years, and Clint don't let a lot of people touch it. So that's a good question. I'm anxious to see if they let him on the turf too. So
yeah, all righty. So one guy we talked about earlier that kind of stood out is number 50, and you said his name was
Luke Reese.
Luke Reese, and he's a sophomore.
Sophomore.
Right?
Luke's a sophomore. Luke was one of those guys last year as a freshman that played, and as the more the year went on, the more he played, and Luke's only going to get better and better. 6'3", about 270 pounds, has gotten unbelievably stronger from when we got here in January till now. So he's just one of those guys that come to work every day, keeps his mouth shut, and just goes about his business. And he is a good team player.
Yeah, it's nice to have someone that size out anchoring.
Oh, absolutely,
sure.
Absolutely.
As you walk in to the Little Bighorn Stadium, Buddy Window Field, you'll notice a few key additions right off the bat. See the nice field, which has the red end zones, Indians in both end zones, new uprights, along with artificial turf with the premier cooling technology, the beads on top to help cool. Also, some of the things you might not notice right offhand. Stadium chairs. The stadium chairs have all been redone. They all have their own label, and those labels are there on the end. These stadium chairs are new, and if you also notice the difference in the color of the asphalt, I did some sort of gray epoxy to help it be a little more grippy so that the limit slips and falls. As you travel on into the new and improved reserve section, you'll see on the top row brand new seating. These will be on all the rows inside the reserve seating, and I'm sure there may not be, but I'm sure there may be some seats available. Limited seats this year because of the nice seating and demand. These seats are labeled as well. They have a seat back, which you can see, a nice bottom, soft close with a nice looking Chattooga logo on the back of them. While you're at midfield here in the reserve section, you cannot miss the new midfield logo, the C with the feathers.